Welcome everyone to another episode of the Warmup. It's your boy Chris Justice here, and I'm here with the guys as per usual, Kev, RL, One Mike, and Mr. Filibuster. Say what's up to the YouTube crowd, guys.
What up,
What's
fam?
up? Hey, everybody.
Yo, cool. And if this is your first time, this is a place where we talk about sports, black culture, and everything in between through our own black eyes. And let's just jump right into it, man. We're going to be more on the cultural side today, but stick to sports as well, as they say. LeBron did absolutely nothing to in the most recent week.
He was breathing.
Outside of playing basketball.
He was breathing.
And then some guy named Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Hey, okay.
Had some comments basically when he was asked a question during a Discovery Plus interview segment in which he said something along the lines of sticking to sports. And I'm sure LeBron has heard that before in his career, NBA career here. So in that quote, Zlatan said that LeBron is a phenomenal player at what he's doing, but I don't like when people have some kind of status, they go into politics at the same time. Do what you're good at. Do the category you do. I play football because I'm the best at playing football. I don't do politics. If I would be a political politician, I would do politics. So then, of course, Wynn carries all this information over to LeBron's ears. His ears perked up. Someone told him, hey man, put it on, whatever local channel it was on. And then so he had a chance to respond to it after a post game or at a post game podium where he said, hey, look, I would never shut up about the things that are wrong. I preach about my people and I preach about equality, social justice, racism, voter suppression, things that go on in our community. I'll continue to use my platform to shed light on everything that's going on around this country and around the world. There's no way I would ever just stick to sports because I understand how powerful this platform and my voice is. Then he was like, let me go ahead and slide these receipts real quick. Wasn't he the guy who said in Sweden he was talking about the same things because his last name wasn't a traditional Swedish name? He felt like there was some, racism going on there. So
I'm gonna drink to that.
So then, as a follow-up, a rebuttal to the rebuttal, Zlatan decided he wanted to elaborate on his comments and say that our role is to unite the world by doing what we do best. Athletes should be athletes and politicians should do politics. So
double down
like the
hate
chicken,
to see
bro.
it. Hate to see it.
So let's go down here, man. Does Zlatan have a point? Mr. Filibuster, you got something, man? What you think?
Hell no, that dude don't have a point. Man, I'm messed up the blur in my background. You see how this bust through?
Made me come out my blur.
Yeah, made me come out my blur. I'm trying to cover up the room. You know what? Let's go off his statement. You should stick to what you're best at. LeBron James is still considered the best, if not one of the best, let's put it that way, basketball players on the face of the earth, right? All right, cool. But let's not forget, this dude is a behemoth out in the world, man, for social justice, man. He set up his school in Akron to serve underprivileged kids. He gives millions to HBCUs. He gives millions to what is the law firm that helps? What is it? Southern Poverty Law Firm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to help fund cases of like police killings where families can't afford the top tier lawyers. LeBron's doing that, and he's also really good at that. In fact, it's an arguable point. It's debatable. He does more than most of the politicians do, as far as progressing not just black people, but just social justice means, man. He's a voice. He's one of the most well-known faces in sports. So let's go to his point. Stick to what you do best. LeBron's taking his advice.
Oh.
Also, all right.
Good points.
Got nothing to say on that one. Kev, you got something you want to touch on or add to it?
May I say this? He has a point.
Okay, all right. Let's
Okay,
get to
all right,
it.
let's go.
Let's
Hey.
get to it.
Not one that resonates with me.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Hey
Disclaimer.
man, but here, let's speak
And
on
now-
it. Speak
Yeah,
on it.
not one that resonates with me, and not one that I believe fit into the context for almost everything that Mr. Filibuster just said. Just to touch on both of those things, it don't resonate with me. I don't think people have that school of thought, like stick to what you know, stay in your lane. Even on teams, people have roles and responsibilities. At your job, you have a role and responsibility. And in society, we kind of have this idea of like, put you in a box and stick in that box, because I understand that box. I don't really want you moving too much. I have the opposite belief, you know what I mean? I want you to step out your box. I want you to not be one thing. Let me put it that way. You don't have to step out of the box, just not be one thing. And like Mr. Filibuster said, LeBron is not one thing. So yeah, he's taking your advice. He is doing what he does best. So that point may be his point to have. I'll let him have it, but I don't think it stands up to the context and to resonates with me and how I feel about the situation. As far as the context goes, come on, man. Like, he has a platform. Why not use it? And why not use it to help the people who you believe are disenfranchised and not treated well? That doesn't make sense to me. Like he made his comments because he felt a little way about how he was treated. So without even pulling him up on that, is like, at the end of the day, why not?
Yeah.
Like, that's what the platform is about. With great power comes great responsibility. And let's be honest, the true power in social media is the influence. The fact that you can influence others and get your points and ideas out there. I believe you should use it. So yeah, man, this dude needs to chill out a little bit. I don't know why you feel like he had to wake up and get up and speak on this. This is not a battle I believe we should be fighting.
Yeah, gotcha. Cool.
I gotta say one time for Kev quoting the great American philosopher, Uncle Ben Parker. Great power comes great responsibility.
From Brooklyn.
I'll never forget that meme with the black guy in the Spider-Man outfit holding the Uncle Ben boxes.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Come on, Mike, you got something?
Ooh, powerful statements, hard to follow up on. For me, just seeing the statement, I was just very, very, very taken aback at like the lack of self-awareness that we have today. For you to go out and tell somebody that you can't make political statements is a political statement. It don't make sense to me. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, you getting into the political arena to say, hey man, don't speak politics. So he kind of like didn't lead by following his own advice. If he really felt that way, hit up LeBron on the hotline. There's ways to reach each other. When you're at those high levels, you can be in certain rooms and certain spaces. I don't know how things are in Sweden. I won't speak on it, but over here, everybody has a voice and everybody's political, whether you like it or not. Facebook posts from Joe Schmoes and nobodies who just, do the local day-to-day things, bagging groceries, you cleaning up, whatever your day-to-day is, your businessman, CEO, everybody has a voice, everybody's political. Some people play both sides. It's whatever the game is.
Yep.
And to specifically to what LeBron is doing, is he being political? That was a great question that we thought about. Is he being political? Is him going to some people, him going and, not going the normal route and hiring XYZ guy and this guy and making his own people get the status and level and building them up to be a high-end team that are not just representing him, but others in the community. And now they're rich and they're powerful and they have platforms. Yep. To some people, that was political. To some people, it's him saying, hey, a woman who doesn't do anything wrong, she has a well-respected job, she's sleeping in her bed or she's in her home at night. Some people come and do a no-knock warrant at the wrong place, or where whoever they was looking for wasn't there, come and shoot and kill her in her apartment. To say that is wrong, that's political. For some reason. These things were not necessarily political, but to some people they're political. Is that LeBron's problem? I don't think so. I think he should continue to do what he's doing to speak on injustices that he sees, because, you know, whether you agree with it or not, but you're not going to be able to ignore it and put it to the back burner. If you want to support things like that, it's going to be thrown in your face, and you're going to have to live with that and wrestle with it.
Yeah, I feel you. So everyone's made some great points. Actually, I agree with everyone position, and I'm going to be more on the Kev side, which is kind of like saying he has a point. And again, I think it's because what is LeBron doing anything wrong? Absolutely not. I support everything LeBron James has done, stood up for, has continued to fight for, and also provide very great entertainment whilst he's doing this. I would like to say his entertainment, his ability to play basketball is his spare time. Like that's his hobby. Everything else is his real job, right? He's the work is.
He said his hobby, man. I wish I was a beast at my hobby.
How can you be the best at your hobby though? That's crazy. But I think that it actually illustrates just how narrow-minded a person can be in saying that just speaking on social justice can be considered political. Voter suppression, or, you know, safety in the community, wearing them, like all these things that should probably not be politicized. I mean, it's a human rights issue. Shouldn't have to be a political issue. But because he's talking on it and people have politicized it, Zlatan is thinking, hey, don't talk about politics because, like, that's not what we do. You know, and maybe he's conflating both of those arenas into one singular entity. I don't agree with him at all. No, don't get that twisted. Like, look, I didn't know this guy's name until 2 weeks ago. So,
but can I ask this though?
Yes.
Go ahead, Red. I was
gonna say, but we all do politics.
Yeah.
Jesse Ventura went on to be a politician after he was Jake the Snake. Like, it's not like theology where you go away and you live this masterful life for 10 years and you come back and you're a politician.
Hey.
Like, it's a blurred line. Everybody can just dibble and dabble in the politics as they see.
You're right.
And a lot of people leave politics and then go on the other side. I'm gonna be a lobbyist now. Like, you do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But
go ahead, Kev.
Now, I was just even looking at the side that even if you have the view of that it is political, which I may have, it's like, isn't the politicians here to serve the community, and isn't LeBron a part of that community?
Yeah.
And constituents are able to call up their different representatives and state their piece. He's doing nothing different than what any other citizen of the country have the right to do.
Yeah.
So, even from that point, it was like, okay, you're just mad at me because I have a following, and I'm a star. So I should shut up. I'm confused. I don't know, like.
But this is the crazy part, right? It always seems to be LeBron James is the target, which I find very interesting. He's not the only person making comments about. Taylor Swift has made comments about just political policies, just American policies, just U.S. policies. The Dixie Chicks made a stand, and I mean, their fans didn't like it, about the war on terrorism. No one ever says any other celebrity. It's like LeBron James is like this poster child for being a target when you want someone to not say something. And I think that's what I think it's
I hate to, on a serious topic, I hate to quote like a Marvel movie, right? But one of the Avengers movie, man, Vision, I think it was the first Avengers movie, man. They were talking about, oh, maybe we should break up. It's too much. He said something to the fact that when they became stronger together, the enemy saw that and it seemed like they had to step their game up to beat them, right? So he said Taylor Swift, the Dixie Chicks, I think collectively we wouldn't say that they're either one of them at the top of their fields. I mean, Taylor Swift, she's up there. The Dixie Chicks, I don't think they're at the top of country music. They were popular, but they weren't like the headliners. LeBron's the headliner, right? So his platform stretches to the four corners of the earth, right?
Mhm.
People love sports, love that thing. And I would say I like the point that Kev and Chris that you made about, yeah, we grow up, stay in your lane, do your
Mhm.
job. Bill Belichick, do your job, right? So that is interesting. I didn't think about it from that point, and maybe from Z's perspective, that's what he grew up in.
Mhm.
Do your job. My job is sports. That's what I do. But Chris, you said something that I disagree with. You said that social justice and politics, they don't intermingle.
Yeah,
No, he
that's a
said
good one.
he said
They don't intersect.
Zlatan's
Zlatan's
probably
view.
thinking that. He's
Okay.
speaking as
Scratch.
if
Yeah.
those two things. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see possibly because none of us know him as a kid. I've never been to Sweden,
Mhm.
but maybe he's thinking about that little box thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thing has a little spot. But it's a shame because he has money, he has freedom of travel, and he can learn things.
Mhm.
He can do that. He can do that more than we can.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he should understand that it's just not that simple, man.
Yeah.
You can't just stick to your lane.
Yeah.
I mean, also to my name tonight, I feel like if you got a platform, you got one mic, you got something to say. These are your dying words. Like every moment is not promised. You don't know you're gonna be here tomorrow.
Mhm.
You woke up and it was like, I want to go check LeBron James for speaking out on social justice issues.
Yeah.
You ain't want to highlight what's going on in the world with COVID, vaccines, how we can help some people, what was
Yeah.
going on in Austin, Texas, like with the weather freezes and people not having food. There's a famine and war going on in
Yes.
Yemen. There's so many things to speak on the world and highlight and promote that may not even have to be political. Like you can just be like, hey man, if you guys believe in this, just go send some money in that direction. I'm not saying do it or don't do it or be for it, be against it, but this is just what I want to talk about today.
Yeah.
And what you wanted to talk about was LeBron James.
Yeah.
There's a timeline too, man. Like, I mean, first one, Mike, I don't know, man. Like, I ain't get my STEMI check, so I'm waking up until I get my STEMI check, you know. But
I'm checking the cash app first. Like I'm looking at cash app. LeBron James is like the 10th, 20th thing I'm looking at.
But the thing, I was looking up LeBron James's first social statement. I can't really pinpoint when it was, but I found this article in 2012. You know, we lost Trayvon, and he was with the Heat, and they did the photo shoot, whatever. And my memory, I don't believe he was like public enemy number one for the establishment back then.
No.
But we had it changed in the White House, and all of a sudden he was made public enemy number one. I think it's more than just a coincidence there.
But there was a lot. The NBA has changed a lot too, because there was a lot of resistance to them wearing hoodies or wearing the Trayvons or saying his names, or you know, the kind of message, like they went OD with the messaging in the bubble a little bit. I don't know if y'all feel different, but it was good to see that imagery and that messaging being like positive and accepted. But like there were times where they were like, don't mess with the money, just put on the jersey. If you want to do something pre-game, maybe you can kneel or sit, or even with cap stuff going on, there was NBA's stance has changed drastically.
With a new commissioner, I think Stern was still in office back then too.
And so there is a lot of, one thing I did want to point out, there is a lot of people who believe it's, you know, they believe in this ideology of you come to work and you leave all your opinions at home. Like you come here, you don't talk about politics, you don't talk about who's better, DC versus Marvel, you don't talk about nothing that is going to be divisive.
Marvel.
I mean,
you get it.
I mean, look.
He's stretching it, but you get his point.
Animated
Heard
movies,
any
though,
DC is better though. I'm just saying.
I feel your point, Chris. I feel
comic
your
books,
point.
yes.
But I'm just saying, like, there's this belief. There's really a wholehearted belief that like you come to work, you don't bring any of that personal stuff in here, none of your views, none of your positioning of anything, and then you go home and you can pick it back up on the way out. But like you don't bring that stuff inside. And I think there's a compartmentalization expectation that I believe people who are afforded certain privileges, I would just say, they want everyone to kind of fall by that wayside, fall by that guideline, because it's easier to not have to broach it, because when I go back home, I'm in the comfort of my community to kind of shield me from it. What do you guys believe, or what are your thoughts when it comes to social justice and political? I know we kind of broached it. We didn't really just dive deep into it, and maybe the same. Do you guys believe that the social justice talk or discussion cannot be political, or is there a way where they both can be, they both can exist without any overlapping at all, intersectionality?
I think that's tough, if I may.
Okay, you got something?
Listen, I think that's very hard to do, because when you think about what is politics and what is political, as far as I see it, it's just a description to describe something that it just usually relates to public affairs, and something related to governing and how we're going to change something for society. And social justice is all about that. It's all about, we need changes because as a public, as this part of the public, we feel as though things aren't equal, things aren't right, things aren't just. And justice itself, even with that, the whole justice system is part of kind of government. People are put into these positions, the Supreme Court and all that stuff, which makes a lot of decisions that then others use in their defenses, which has happened time and time again throughout history. And recently I've been watching the Netflix series Amend. I don't know if you guys seen it, but it's brought a lot of that back to the forefront, because it goes all the way back with the forefathers and Abe Lincoln, and they talk about how the change was very slow, even with the amendment. How social, how it was socially, like how you were treated was so different than what the law stated, that there had to be in such a fight from the social standpoint to actually have the law or what was written in the Constitution be enforced and be actually like carried out. And it's just crazy when I saw that. So for me, just based on what I've been recently watching and stuff, it's hard for me to split those two up, because it's all about citizenship. It's all about where you live, where you reside, and what country you belong to, and how that country treats you. And if you speak on that, it's hard to separate that from the political stance and the governing.
I think I agree with that. I think social justice ideally would be separate from politics, but like politicians and policy are not separate from the reality that we live in. So whoever's writing these laws are going to be affected by the same biases and whatever. So a lot of the times these social injustices occur because of policies or establishments in place. So it's really hard to kind of separate those two.
Gotcha. Okay, you got some filibuster? I'm gonna just call you Mister from now on, man.
Thinking.
Mister
what?
Mister.
Oh. I like what you got. I'm thinking about what one Mike said. You said, say your last point again.
I was just saying, because of, a lot of policies and establishments are in place that create these social injustices in the first place, like the same biases and everything that we have or that people have. You don't just become a politician and all of a sudden get right. Like, so a lot of this stuff propagates.
See, and I think it's the inverse. I think a lot of the social injustice comes from the perceptions and the misguided ideas of people who therefore become politicians to make these policies. Because just going back,
so like a chicken versus the egg kind of thing.
Yeah, but
no, but I feel like that's what I was trying to say more. Like, it's not like the Constitution was written and we all got here and it's just like, oh, there's a Constitution, let's try and implement it, but we messed up. It's like, no, we kind of messed up people who think we're doing the right thing and we put this document together, but even when we writing it, all men are created equal. But you're like, oh, you black, you ain't a man. Like, it's just like,
because it ended up in policy. That did end up in policy.
But you're a woman, so like you don't count.
You don't count.
You don't own land. Or
all that.
Yeah. So it's a lot of it's a people issue. It's an institution. It's a lot of that going on.
And you're right. And going back to Mr. Justice's point. Ideally, in the utopian society, they should be two separate things, because we should be viewed as human, and there are human rights, right, that you would have, and it shouldn't be different for anybody based off of sexual orientation, race, whatever. That sounds familiar. I think I read that somewhere. Right?
You would think, right?
It's one of those bills.
Oh man,
Well, it's something like that, right? But unfortunately, it's not, man, and especially in our country, we are in a unique situation to where America. I've read other places, other countries were more ethnically diverse, but like there's some countries in Africa that are supposedly more ethnically diverse than America. However, they still have like a commonality. They still share the same skin, right? Mm-hmm. I can't think of another country in the world that has the different races that America has, and therefore I think our problems, I don't want to say more unique, but more enhanced, right? More highlighted because of the differences we have here. I think that makes it more difficult, but it should be different, but unfortunately, we know what it is.
There's a lot though. You got UK, you got a lot of South American countries, the Caribbean, Canada.
I just want to say one thing. Like you would think human rights, right, would just be like obvious and
not controversial.
And separate from politics. But what happens when you belong to a country is this thing about human rights versus like citizenship rights, and a lot of this stuff that I've been watching recently has been on that distinction. On that what's human rights aren't necessarily like citizens' rights.
Yeah.
And not all the human rights are actually in citizenship rights. So like, I just want to separate those two. That you would think.
Wait, are you saying like sometimes human rights supersede citizen rights, or like
it doesn't? It should. It should, but it doesn't. Like citizenship rights would supersede human rights. Like you would think you would have human rights, but they look at it like, no, you're in my country. It's almost like you're in my house, you're under my roof, you by my rules. It's like I understand.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
When you have rights, but
okay.
I'm throwing that to the side. I'm calling you a citizen, and the whole fight back then was you're not really a citizen. You know, and that's why they justify treating us all kind of ways, because they're saying you're not a citizen of this country. So first they had to fight just for citizenship, and even when they got citizenship, they were like, yeah, this paper says you're a citizen, but you still call me master.
But
there was no description for what a citizen was. There was no. It's like
there was none. There was none. There was no description.
The baseline should be human rights, and then on top of that, you can have citizen rights.
It's like if you go to work, you expect to not get sexually harassed. Yeah, that's human rights. Citizenship should be like you get a 401k, like we'll help contribute to that, because that's a kind of a luxury. That's a privilege to have.
The interesting thing though, and there's a lot of ways. I think if you come here and you're not a citizen, you are still extended some citizen right to a speedy trial and all these other kind of things. Like
we had the right to throw you in jail after.
I know about a speedy trial now.
They're supposed to give you a speedy trial, but like you're supposed to have that right.
Is relative. Time is relative, fellas.
Yeah.
So all right, man, let's move forward, man. We out here just acting the fool. Social justice, man. We still talking about this, man, and it showed up in a different form. Not with black people, actually with black people on the wrong side of history. In the wake of the rise of Asian American hate crimes, we've seen Jeremy Lin speak out on what was happening. And he was quoted to say that, something is changing in the generation of Asian Americans. We're tired of being told that we don't experience racism. We're tired of being told that to keep our heads down and not to make trouble. This is after seeing the rise and spike of Asian American attacks, particularly against older people, people who were kind of like blindsided. It's really kind of crazy, especially out in the Bay Area. I think I've seen multiple instances. So yeah, he also said that we're tired of Asian American kids growing up and being asked where they're really from, having their eyes mocked, being objectified as exotic, or being told we inherently are unattractive. We're tired of the stereotypes in Hollywood affecting our psyche and limiting who we think we can be. We are tired of being invisible, and we're tired of being mistaken for our colleague or told our struggles aren't real. Also, he mentioned that being a 9-year NBA veteran doesn't protect me from being called coronavirus on the court. Thoughts? I'm just leaving it at that. Thoughts. One mic. You got something?
That's just crazy, man. Like, they need to find out who said that. Matter of fact, they don't need to find out who said that. Whoever said that need to just come through, make that right on the back end. Don't make us do a whole investigation. If we have to go and Adam Silver got to take time during this coronavirus season shortened going on, and is this happened in the G League, I'm assuming, or was
I don't know. I can't recall where it was where it happened. But either way, it was an NBA sanctioned.
If we
game.
got to do an open an investigation, and they find out who this is, they get them about a G League, bro. You out. And if it's in the NBA, like, we got the game suspensions or something. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's out of pocket. It ain't right. It doesn't even make sense, really, but it's crazy.
I feel you.
The violence against Asian Americans has just been crazy. I saw that story where they pushed that man in the chest so hard he ended up dying. He was just out here trying to get his little exercise in. Yeah. I'm staying away from people, period, right now. Yeah, so for y'all to run, if y'all really believe that energy, like, what are you doing? Why are you running up on somebody like that? Like, wear your mask and socially distance, 6 feet away.
I mean, yeah, even if you have an issue, don't be blindsiding people.
Yeah.
If you have an issue, just go be like, I'll challenge you to a duel, square up, like, prepare. So
don't do that.
I'm just saying, give him a fair
fight.
Give him a fair. Don't be blindsiding. Yeah, don't be. I'm just saying, don't be blindsiding people. Like, these are like blindsided attacks. You trying to unlock your door, and someone come in and smack you in the back of the head with a bottle and run away. Like, come on now.
Those weaklings, man.
Yeah.
That's all weaklings.
Yeah.
Just like the person on the court, they're weak too, because you say that on the court, but if he said that you felt confident saying it on the court, he's saying that somebody said it. You haven't come forward. You weak too. You a coward.
Oh, most certainly.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have anything coming out your mouth like that, man. Like, I just see you as weak. I see you as weak, hurt, confused, lost.
Yeah.
Find yourself, man. I don't know what to tell you. Find yourself.
That's all you got?
I don't know, man. I got nothing to say for these cats, man. Like, this don't make any sense. Like, I feel where he's coming from, because at the end of the day, I understand that, with what we're going through and the struggles we have, and I think slavery had a big part to do with I guess, I don't want to say limelight, but where the light is being shined on who is being oppressed. But at the end of the day, I always looked at it as any non-white. For me, I've always seen racism as anyone non-white has been exposed to racism to some way, to some form, shape, and degrees. And he same way like LeBron has a platform, he has his platform, and I'm glad he's speaking up, because there's not many of them Asians represented in the NBA, and I don't know, his experience may be unique to where he's at and who's in his circle, but yeah, if this is happening, it's good for someone to be speaking out about it, and I'm happy that he's not just talking about the incidents with the coronavirus, but going back to say, hey, we're here too, and I think the light needs to be shined on the general whole, like we talked about, human rights. It's not for a specific race. It's not about that. It's about let's just treat people like people.
Civil rights.
Yeah, man.
Be civil.
Be civil.
Montrez came back and pieced it up, man. You was heated, you was in a moment, whatever. Come back and make that right, man.
Yeah. Mr. Filibuster, you got something?
Yeah, man, I echo what everybody else is saying, man. I think the only thing that really adds like fuel to the fire, man, is that it's happening like in the NBA, and it's a majority black sport. And we've gone through the especially the last 2 years, man, the BLM movement under the Trump regime, right? We've gone under all that, man. So we understand what it's like to be on the other side, definitely, more than anybody. And I hate that it's us that's shooting that shot like that, man. Like, we shouldn't be doing that. Allegedly, you're right. Allegedly. It could be somebody else. It could be somebody else.
Bro,
well, I mean, if it was G League, I don't know. There's a lot of people from all over.
There's a lot of people in there. You know what? Good point. I'm not gonna assume that it was us, but on the flip side, I hate that Lin's going through that. I'm glad, like you said, he's speaking out about it. and hopefully they do something about that, man. Hopefully the cat that did it steps forward, pulls them to the side, apologizes. If not, they do some like official action, and I mean make that cat an example so it could prevent future actions from happening. You know?
Yeah, I agree, man. Actually, I'm probably a little bit more harsher, man. Hey, yo, if like Riz, like one Mike said, if we gotta go and find you,
get him about
the paint. Yo, when we found out about the what's that guy from the Clippers?
Donald Sterling.
Sterling. When we found out about Donald Sterling.
Donald. These Donalds, bro. What's up with these Donalds in the world,
bro.
man?
Don't do that. It's just two of them.
Donald Duck.
Donald Glover. Now we mad at Danny Glover.
Childish Gambino, man.
Yeah, his name was Childish.
They got two Donalds, man.
Oh yeah, Donald Glover. Yeah.
I'll take my OG. I'll take my OG Donald.
Oh man, I feel you. But yeah, man, get him out the paint. Like, look, I didn't ask it directly because I was like, yo, what should be the penalty be? Penalty should be get him out the paint. Like, at the very least, 2 years. At the very least, 2 years suspension. And
2 years.
I'm just saying, at the very least.
You might just get him on this expel.
I mean, we can expulsion. I'm good with too. Like, look, if there was a place between expulsion and, or there was if expulsion is the average, the median,
indefinite suspension.
The baseline, the baseline is 2 years and a heavy fine, and something else. But like, we can we prosecute him? We can prosecute him too. Again,
people make mistakes, but if we have to find you,
But at the same time, going back to that, if we have to find you, I was with you guys with that. If you have to find you, because you're making it worse. But then, as you say it, if we have to find you, and I'm thinking about how embarrassed someone may feel after they recognize they're wrong. Sometimes it's hard, and it's a whole different situation to now step up and admit you're wrong. It's one thing to do the wrong, and it's another thing to step up and admit it. And we're asking for.
I ain't asking to do it publicly. I say reach out to. So it's gonna be more embarrassing if we have to find you. That's
I know what you're saying. But I'm just saying I could see someone being nervous to want to step up. This should, but I'm just saying that's now a different aspect of them.
I understand.
They have an aspect of them that said a racist slur, which it shouldn't have. Or not even a racist slur, but something that's insensitive to the race.
Very insensitive.
Yeah. So it's like. You have that in you. You said it. Boom. That's one thing. Now you may have realized you're wrong, but we're asking you to now realize you're wrong, and actually make a 180 and actually reveal yourself. It's hard to ask that of
I wouldn't even ask him to do that. Just realize he talking about you. Call him and have a conversation. We don't need to know.
He should.
Let me ask you guys this question.
I wouldn't expel him though. It's harsh.
Do you think Lin was abused by this statement? He felt abused by this statement.
I don't know what you mean by abused.
Like
it's verbal abuse.
Verbal abuse?
Oh.
So you see.
Right. I don't think it was abused, but it's still insensitive.
I just think it was inappropriate. That's all.
Inappropriate? You don't think it was verbal abuse?
Like if someone calls me an N-word and not in a way, it's considered, it's a verbal attack. It's a verbal insensitive comment. The purpose of your attack is to make me feel uncomfortable and feel shame for being me.
Yeah, that's abuse, man.
And so, you can look at it as abuse. It definitely is an attack. Now, I don't feel
it's an attack.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel personally like distraught, like, oh my gosh, I'm so traumatized. But also, it depends on what was happening at the time. Like, if I was getting stumped out and they were saying that, I'd be a little bit more traumatized at the whole situation.
Yeah.
But if you like walk past me on your way to your car and say something, I'm like, I wouldn't be happy, but I wouldn't be like totally traumatized. I'd be like, people are just ignorant and just kind of keep it moving. I won't let that affect my energy.
I asked that question because I was thinking about the fact that switching sports, right? Vic was suspended for about he went to jail too, but initially he was suspended indefinitely for abusing dogs.
Oh, Mike Vick. Okay.
Mike Vick, Mike Vick, dogs. And
but that's more like a crime and all this other kind of stuff.
It was a crime.
It was a big thing.
It was
a whole ring. Yeah, it wasn't like one or two dogs. You know what I mean? If
It's
you
like
Yeah,
if,
man.
it's like if whoever did it was organizing a whole gang, calling people
You're right.
and that's why I would want to go not easy on him, but that's why I wouldn't be as harsh, because I would want to rehabilitate that person. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure if suspending them for 2 years would rehabilitate them. I don't know if it would make it better for
I
them.
agree with you, but I'm just saying, if Adam Silver gotta go find you.
Yeah, you're wasting resources, wasting time. Like
That's
I
what I'm
get you.
saying.
I'm with you on that.
Especially in this season.
Yeah,
in
man,
this
you waste
season
people's
with
time,
coronavirus
man.
and all this other kind, like there's people who would got kicked out for like D'Angelo Russell had some time to recover from being silly in the locker room with what he did, and that wasn't even that deep.
Yeah.
Like, and a scary thought I was thinking, what if this person is just so flagrant they don't even know it was them?
What kind of Black Mirror ish is that?
No,
I don't know,
but
man. Chris is just like subconscious.
yeah, like if he's just every time he sees somebody, oh yeah, he just throws out that word to them. Like if they're just doing that so often that they're just like,
And he's sitting there listening to Jay Lin talk on what was it, CNN? And he's like,
you would be
man, they should
surprised,
get that
bro.
person.
Why am I getting knocking my door right now?
I'm already laughing.
Are you talking about me? Oh my god.
I ain't mean it that way. I was misquoted.
Misquoted. Oh man. So, but no, I just to kind of bring it back, man. I'm happy that Jeremy Lin did speak up. I think that was a very brave thing to do. He should, and everyone should speak up on it. Like it shouldn't just be him. Actually, there should be more people who are in support of his position. And I know there
might be.
Yeah, there are.
Maybe he
might
should
not
stick to
be as big as
basketball.
his.
Maybe he should stick to
Nah.
basketball.
Oh no. Well, this
Nah.
is not political.
I would think it would be dope though if LeBron came up and highlighted that.
Yeah.
Promoted
Yeah.
that.
So
I think
so
so
we
too,
talk
yeah.
about it in the NFL when folks be getting blackballed or whatever, Kaepernick, and we're like, well, where's Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady? Like they should say something. Yeah, LeBron, and it's not just LeBron. I did hear. I want to say I heard. Maybe I heard. Let me not say that. I'm not sure. But I would like to see people who are prominent in that space, whether it's a person who's retired like Shaq and D-Wade, or it's people who are currently in the game like Kevin Durant, Kyrie. Kyrie is very emotionally attached to other people's kind of like struggles, because I think he just hugged DeMar DeRozan. I think his father just passed away or something like that. So when they started the game, like before they started the game, you know, he kind of gave a big hug. I think it was
I
kind
didn't
of
know that. That's tough.
yeah.
You also had with what was going on with the WNBA when coronavirus started. He was offering to pay salary, so
Yeah. So he's a good-hearted dude. I think his heart's in the right place, and I think we need more people just kind of being empathetic towards that, especially if it's coming from like your constituents, like your colleagues, your co-workers, your brethren, people who, at least in that case, it's like a small fraternity, exclusive fraternity. Like it should be very encapsulating or insulating and trying to kind of help, you know, provide support and comfort in those times. So I'm happy that Jeremy Lin did speak up on it. I would hope people would follow in suit and kind of, just show their solidarity, because even though it's not a black problem, it's still a human rights issue. It's still a American issue. It's still a global issue of this, you know, disparaging moments that kind of is a black eye in many events of history. And if it's a black guy, do better. Look.
I hope not.
Man, you know those dudes could be like that, man. You
KG?
Yo, yeah.
KG?
KG is.
Hey, look, no, KG just.
It might have been KG.
He has called one person a cancer patient, man. Like,
Yo, he would say, but you know,
This
he
is
would say
before
some
they used to
toxic
mic them
stuff.
up. This is before they mic'd up, Curtis.
Cause you know Kevin Garnett said some crazy stuff. That's why Carmelo wanted to fight him.
Yeah, there was a Cheerios incident.
Kevin Garnett is
such a white chick, like.
Allegedly.
He said allegedly. Oh man, and then to find out that he was out here cheating.
I feel like KG said that.
I feel like Carmelo felt like he said it because Carmelo went to go see him about it. So
Bro,
you
like,
know he was upset.
You don't talk about his wife like that, especially if they're a celebrity.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. A public
You don't
figure.
talk about nobody's wife like that.
Well, I'm just saying, especially as a public, like if they're
Oh,
a public
yeah,
figure,
yeah.
it makes it just that much inflammatory. But I mean, baseline.
Especially
is,
if you're
don't
there,
do
your coworker. Like that's your coworker.
Exactly.
Like y'all professionals at the end of the day.
Like I gotta play you again this season.
Yeah.
bro. Yeah. So, so as far as the what's y'all thoughts on the, I guess from the social aspect of it, these attacks that are happening? Is there something that you guys want to speak on or anything? Because again, we saw the ones I saw, they look very dark skinned in those video camera footage. At least we saw. In the
you
Bay
talking
Area.
about? Yeah, those were. That's a fact.
Okay.
I was just saying we don't know who called them that in the NBA. Is why I said allegedly.
Yeah, I just want to say allegedly too, because we ain't calling them yet. But I'm gonna reserve judgment. But
some of them, I mean, they're Bay Area residents of whoever, like different assortments. But I mean, I have seen people of color doing it. It's just people doing it. General, it don't matter like who's doing it. Just cut it, knock it off.
It don't matter.
Just wear your mask and stay socially distanced. If that's your concern, just wear your mask and stay socially distanced from everybody.
Yeah,
because everybody can have it. Grandma might have it, cousin might have it, mama Kiki might have it. Everybody might got it. So just
a little Kiki from the Drake song. I got you.
Whichever Kiki you know.
Oh man, I don't know no Kikis. All right. Anything else? Any last words?
Nah, we got it out.
Cool.
I got it out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, yours was short and sweet, Kev. You was look, man. Stop being stupid.
Please.
Yeah,
I feel like that was he should be on Lin on Me Part 2. But nah, man. Everyone stay safe on that front, man. Shout out to the Asian community. Hopefully, man, y'all get justice just as well. So, all right, man, that's good, man. We just wrap it up here. We hold it right there and do the sign off, man. Who wants to go first? Filibuster. What's the meaning behind Mr. Filibuster? Let's start there.
Oh man, because there's a party up in the White House that's pretty pissed off that they can't filibuster this money coming to the people, man. I ain't gonna call them out by name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
we just knew it was a 50-50 split. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Just go with the vote, man. Just go with the vote. They mad because they don't have the filibuster, man.
Okay. I heard there was supposed to be an attack on the Capitol, but
yeah, what is it? March? It's coming up.
Yeah.
It's crazy how
y'all
don't think it's crazy how we know the dates, but they ain't know nothing about what's going on in January 6th.
Hey, you know what? So I was listening to shout out to what
they was probably on the police radio at the end of December talking about the superpowers are coming soon.
Nah, man, they had the Senate trials or whatever, and somebody from the FBI, I don't know if it was director or rep, spokesman or whatever, said, yeah, we picked up on it and we sent the email to the Capitol Police. But that's not the normal procedure to send, like, I guess, important notifications. So the Capitol Police say, oh yeah, we ain't know if we could believe it, how much weight to put on it because it was an email. I'm like,
all right,
bruh, there's an attack on the Capitol coming. Send.
Right.
Yo, call somebody.
I would have had my horse and steed to send it down that way, but I need to get out there fast.
The British are coming.
I don't know about this.
That blew my mind, man. I was like, come on,
Paul Revere turning his grave right now. Y'all niggas sent an email?
Oh man, that's hilarious. So I don't know, man. I don't know what we're gonna do with the country, bro. Anyways, you got
trash, bro. Let's just roll back to 1776.
Nah, don't do that.
Without the slavery.
I don't want to be 3/5. I want to be one whole 5/5. So, anything you want to say, Mr. Filibuster, man?
Hey, man, I think we had a great discussion. I love our talk today. Hey, remember, like, subscribe, spread the word, man. That's all I got to say. It's good seeing y'all brothers again today.
Awesome, cool. One mic.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Like, follow, subscribe. We just enjoy y'all just following us and just hanging around. That's it, man.
Cool, appreciate that. And Kev.
Man, don't let nobody tell you what you can or can't do. Be you and be the change you want to see. So keep it moving like that and we'll be all right.
Yeah,
Kev said, break the out that box.
Do your research though. Do your research and
Yeah.
kind of think about your statement. Don't be getting cut out here like Wayne and Kanye and stuff.
Should it? Nah, like that. Should not do
there's
that.
there's the flip side of that. Speaking on your politics.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. But everybody got a voice, man. So it's like
Yeah.
everybody got a perspective.
Yeah.
I
That's it.
don't want to draw a line on
Just think about it a little bit. I'm not saying
Yeah.
you can't have a different angle. I'm just think about it a little bit.
Yeah.
You
Think about
should.
what you really want to say and what you're trying
Please
to get.
do.
Because
Please
those
do.
guys in particular, like what they're trying to say, I don't get what they're trying to say. Not even like because it's from one side or another. It's just they're not really clear on what they're trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And this is Chris Justice, man. Hey, just, remember that everyone has a platform. Use it with a certain level of respect that you have. And yeah, man, just understand that, we're all just trying to do our thing to make this world a better place, whether for us and our communities. And even on this platform here, I mean, I thought it would be interesting. Actually, I thought it'd be very important to shed light on some of the things that may not impact me directly. Obviously, the Asian American doesn't impact me directly, but they are people too, man. So really sucks to see that people from my community kind of had something to do with some of those things. So hopefully y'all get y'all mind right and stop being terrorists. But
Not the change.
yeah, but yeah, man, we have a platform, we have a responsibility, so we're gonna use it to the best of our ability.
And get your mind right and subscribe to our freaking platform.
So yeah, man, like, subscribe if you like what we had to say. Follow us, engage with us, make comments, all that fun stuff. Tell a friend to tell a friend if you like what you see from us. And with that, man, I'll just let everyone else go, man. Y'all have a good night.
Night.
Later.